Jake's Science History, Genius Heroes. When Jake was just a budding young scientist, he got out some paper and made out a list. The names he wrote down were heroes to him. They'd all made discoveries by going out on a limb. The names he wrote down were from all throughout history, and each had helped solve at least one science mystery, and by each building upon the work of the past, they'd helped invent all the great things we've amassed. The first name he listed was from ancient Greece, Archimedes of Syracuse from 200 BC. He was a real genius by any means, discovering new maths and inventing machines. But his most famous discovery relates to a boat, and what makes things sink and what makes stuff float. He made this discovery while taking a dip, and got so excited he ran out in the nip. Eureka! Eureka! He shouted with pride. I found it! He screamed in a bare-bottom stride. The mothers of children, they covered their eyes, as Archimedes soon noticed their look of surprise. Leonardo da Vinci was the next hero noted. It was both art and science to which he was devoted. He made famous paintings and drawings of things, and designed cool machines with wheels, gears and wings. Some of his designs could shoot a giant arrow, and others would help one to fly like a sparrow, but a few of them, such as his weird flying corkscrew, would have flown even worse than a horse-filled canoe.
A horse in a canoe? What?
Galileo Galilei from Pisa in Italy redesigned a new telescope and used it quite wittily. Whereas sailors had used it to see ships afar, Galileo aimed upwards to stare at the stars. And whilst looking skyward one dark starry night, he saw 4 moons in orbit round Jupiter's soft light. The meaning was clear, we'd now have to admit, not everything in nature circled our little planet. And Galileo discovered many more things. He used maths to describe how a pendulum swings. He was one of the first to say, let's do a test. He knew testing would separate the truth from the rest. Aristotle said big things fall faster than small things. Galileo said same speed whether rhinos or shoestrings. And dropping balls down from the great leaning tower showed Galileo was right and that science had power. For if you think you know things and I disagree, we use science to test if it's your right or me. It makes perfect sense, it's a really fair deal, and that's what gives science universal appeal. And now to the man who got hit by the fruit, the great Isaac Newton, to whom we salute. His list of discoveries is as big as the ocean, from calculus to gravity, optics and motion. The maths that Sir Newton helped to invent are still used to help guide a rocket's ascent. His telescope designs are still used today for discovering new planets throughout the Milky Way.
Wow, too many planets. Could we live on them, Dad?
Yeah, Kayla, we think these ones are just like Earth, and the first one there that says new is right beside us.
Cool, there might be some aliens there.
The fifth name on Jake's list you just might not know, the man who used maths to show why light bulbs glow. The great James Clerk Maxwell, a genius from Scotland, put the pieces together to solve a huge problem. He combined electricity with magnets and light and showed they're connected with incredible insight. His electromagnetic work helped pave the way for the theories of the final man listed by Jake. The final guy down on Jake's hero list is the most famous scientist to ever exist. Professor Albert Einstein and his famous equation had to flee Europe from Hitler's invasion. But back before even the First World War started, he already had most academics outsmarted. Energy and mass are the same, he declared, as he scribbled down
E equals mc squared. Cowabunga!
What's funny about Einstein is that when he was young, he didn't seem smart and he had a slow tongue. He didn't start speaking until really quite late, so who could have guessed his remarkable fate? So please just remember as you go to school that learning new things makes us awesome and cool. And if you work hard and really persist, your name might be next on Jake's Genius list.
I love school better than ever.